Funko is a toy company that is mostly known for producing their stylized Funko Pop figures, and these figures cover such a vast majority of different things, such as writers, books, video games, movies, TV shows, and even pop and rock icons. But Funko has dabbled from time to time into some more grisly and darker IP. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at a few Funko Pops that I think are some of the darkest based on the subject matter that they're from that Funko has ever produced. Number 1. Starting off with Medication Bear. Yes, I know the actual name of the movie, and I don't think I'm allowed to say it on YouTube according to their guidelines, so I will just be referring to the film as Medication Bear. So the film follows basically a bunch of people as they are chased down by a black bear that is high on medication, so to speak. And the movie is a dark comedy creature feature and is extremely gory and violent. And Funko released 2 figures based off of this movie, both of which were the Medication Bear doing various things. One of them had a severed human foot, and the other had bags of medication. And these figures were actually the first Funko Pops that I know of that are R-rated. You had to show ID upon purchase of these 2 figures.
And I do happen to have one of these Medication Bear figures. It is the bear with leg. It is in this sideways box. And it features, of course, the bear with a severed foot and just a bunch of blood splatter. So, really, really dark. This is actually from a scene in the movie where the bear climbs up a tree and just absolutely demolishes a guy, and then begins chewing on the person's leg.
Number 2. Next up, we have Art the Clown from the Terrifier movie series. Of course, Art the Clown is the titular slasher villain for these movies, and I'm sure if you're a fan of horror and slashers, you don't need any introduction to this bad boy, but I personally think that these are some of the most disgusting, deplorable slasher movies ever. They are pretty much just glorified torture, and that's just putting it bluntly. I only made it through 2 of these movies. I haven't even watched the 3rd one, just because it's so disgusting I don't think I can stomach the 3rd movie. And some of these Art the Clown figures get really disturbing. The most tame of which simply just has Art covered in blood. There's another one that has Art covered in blood, and he's got the hollowed out head of somebody that he's put candy into, like some sort of twisted Halloween candy bowl. There's another one that has Art the Clown dressed up as Santa, and he's wielding a blood-stained chainsaw, which I believe is based off of the opening of the 3rd Terrifier movie. And then there's another one of him sitting on a toilet. What are these figures? And how did they not get the R-rated treatment, but Medication Bear did, when it does far less with its antagonist than what Terrifier does with Art the Clown? Number 3. Next up, we have the Nosferatu 2024 movie figures. They only released 2 characters at the time of this recording, that being Ellie and Nosferatu himself. And this is a pretty disturbing and dark movie when you think about the implications that Nosferatu is effectively using his dark magic to Ellie throughout the course of the entire movie. And the thing that makes this even worse is they literally released 2 figures, one of the abuser and one of the victim. And to make things worse, is that this movie shows you that Ella has no choice in what happens to her on account of Nosferatu, as he puts her in a mental altered state to get her to enjoy this. She has no choice in the matter, and this is further backed up by the movie's ending, which is extremely sad and depressing. I mean, if you had to make figures, just had to, for the Nosferatu 2024 movie, I don't know, make Nosferatu and then make the movie's main lead so it's not weird, because it's weird right now. Number 4. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Georgie Denbrough figure from the It 2017 movie, specifically the Chase version of this figure. And it basically showcases a dead Georgie with sunken eyes, a pale face, and skin. He even has the severed arm, which is still bleeding. Truly disturbing. And this is from a scene in the movie where Pennywise takes the form of this dead Georgie to mess with and prey on Billy, his older brother's grief. It's truly a disturbing and even heartbreaking scene within the events of the movie that they've captured in the stylized, cartoony style of a Funko Pop figure. That alone adds insult to injury, because it's a pretty graphic death in the movie, basically setting forth that nobody is safe from the hands of Pennywise the Dancing Clown, not even children. Especially not children. But that was my look at some of the darkest Funko Pops that Funko has ever released. At least in my opinion, I know what people perceive as dark is different and subjective to each individual, but in my opinion, these are the darkest figures ever released in the Funko Pop toy line. And I want to hear what you guys think about this video. Do you guys agree with my picks? Do you think they're dark? Would you have picked different figures? And if you guys want to send me recommendations for figures I could potentially include on a sequel to this video, I would definitely love to do it. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.